My topic is addiction in child stars as a result of being under the spotlight for such a long time from also such a young age. And under the home tab, I first have an explanation of my topic and examples. I wrote, my topic is a sad phenomenon that happens as celebrities grow up under the harsh spotlight of the paparazzi. The fans, the haters, and the haters who judge every one of their moves. This has happened to numerous stars that become popular at a young age, such as Michael Jackson, as he became a star at the age of 5, Drew Barrymore, and how she was admitted to rehab at the age of just 11 for drug addiction, and Corey Montez, who died of an alcohol and heroin overdose at the young age of 31. I will even go on to talk about Justin Bieber and how he has overcome drug addiction with the support of his fans and family, but it was hard for him because of all the pressure that young stars have to go through at such a young age. The last example I'll talk about is Orlando Brown, as he was a star for Disney Channel that I used to watch. He is another star that has battled with addiction, and he portrays an example of how easily drugs can take over your life. In this project, I am going to be focusing on solely Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, and Orlando Brown, and how addiction affected their lives as a result of being under the spotlight at such a young age and trying to grow up and succeed in the media business. So first, I have Orlando Brown, and when I was younger, I used to watch Disney Channel, and one of the TV shows I used to watch was called That's So Raven, and he was a star in that show. And this is an important video because it is a interview with him and Dr. Phil about his addiction and what led him to addiction. I've linked it right there. And this video talks about how Orlando Brown started acting for Disney at the age of 13 and stopped when he was 18. Alcoholism is what led him down the wrong path, which then led him to start using drugs, which then led to him eventually selling drugs and overly self-medicating with marijuana. Consequently, he was arrested for possession of crystal meth. Brown now admits he is 4 years sober to date and that he also has 4 children of his own, but he has yet to meet all of them because of his troubled past. I believe Brown being under the spotlight and pressure truly got to him and caused him to use drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism. This is truly troubling because he could not handle the pressure at such a young age, and it led him down the troubling road to drug and alcohol addiction that he's still trying to patch up. And then we have Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber opens up about his struggle with addiction. He posted this picture from September 2nd, 2019, and I screenshot and included a picture right there. And he just talks about his story with addiction and what led him there and how he overcame it with the support of his family and friends, but it was not easy. Justin Bieber was posting videos of himself singing on YouTube at just the age of 12 and became Usher's protege at age 13. Justin opened up about his past in this post on Instagram from September 2nd, 2019, about the depression and addiction he felt because of the pressure and responsibility that these young child stars face when achieving stardom. Bieber makes a good point when he writes, "So by this point I was 18 with no skills in the real world, with millions of dollars and access to whatever I wanted." It is important to realize that these stars have to grow up in the blink of an eye when stardom strikes. This sadly is a popular trend among child stars as the pressure gets to their head and many of them suffer from addiction. And if you'd like to see the post, I linked it right here. Then we can go to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson struggles with addiction because of stardom at age 11. Michael Jackson is no stranger to the media as he became famous at such a young age, and his childhood was publicly documented by the media. In the book, The Magic, the Madness, the Whole Story, Michael Jackson, Tara Borelli writes, "It has been suggested that Michael Jackson is somehow addicted to plastic surgery. Jackson has been under public scrutiny since he was 11, and the effects are catching up to him as he is addicted to drugs, alcohol, and now plastic surgery because he is not comfortable with the way he is looking." On page 533, Tara Borelli writes, "Apparently Michael's mental state has truly disintegrated while in Mexico City. The damage to his $12,000 a week 5-room suite on the 42nd floor of the Hotel Presidente was evidence of his serious abuse of drugs." Michael Jackson had been under the watch of media ever since he was discovered as the star of Jackson 5 when he was 11. Jackson's dad also put a tremendous amount of pressure onto him and his siblings by making them practice for 2 to 3 hours daily and physically and verbally abusing them if they made one mistake. Both Jackson's parents and the media put an insane amount of pressure and responsibility on him for his age, and eventually he could not handle it. He used alcohol and drugs as an escape mechanism, just like most other celebrities when they are put under the microscope at a young age. Addiction is hard to escape on its own when you're living a normal life, but when you add in the media and being in such a big spotlight and having to handle growing up in addition to all of the pressure you have to succeed, addiction can easily take over your life, and that is what has happened to Michael Jackson and sadly so many other stars as well. Then here's my conclusion tab, and I have all my references, and then my final thoughts. I wrote, all in all, this project was very interesting to me because it showed me that fame is not everything. These stars that grew up under the spotlight were forced to grow up in the blink of an eye. This phenomenon where child stars grow up and deal with addiction of some sort, whether it be alcohol or drugs, is very popular in the U.S. and happens frequently. It is a harsh reality for many stars that are not ready for the media's attention 24/7. I chose to use an Instagram post from Justin Bieber, interview with Orlando Brown and Dr. Phil, and a book about Michael Jackson's life as my multimedia sources to thoroughly look into this occurrence. Any mistake a child star makes, the news and the media put it on blast and tell the world for them to judge. Sadly, when so much pressure is put on such a young child to succeed, many cannot simply handle it and look towards drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism. And that concludes my project. Thank you.